Hello guys, this is just my Satisfactory World Tour at 100 hours. Yeah, I'm only at 96 hours right now, and that's because that's because I just finished my last big project, which I'll show later. Um, so yeah, anyways, my whole main base, my main area is in the Rocky Desert up here. Um, it's bottom floor of my main base, which is not finished yet, by the way. I did not. It's too lazy to make it look nice. And down here is my hub and my storage for everything I'm making at the main base, which includes things from steel stuff to SAM fluctuators to crystal oscillators, about anything you need. Even heavy modular frames. I don't know where they are, but yeah, heavy modular frames. Yep, so that's basically this bottom floor. Nothing too special. I go in the elevator. We'll go to the first floor.
Fix it, elevator. Here to lift you up and to let you down.
This is a really busy floor. I'm bringing in quartz right here, and copper, or not copper, iron. So this quartz gets made into the quartz crystals and silica for the storage room. Then I'm also bringing in SAM, which is being used to make reanimated SAM and SAM fluctuators. And over here is my whole crystal oscillator factory. The whole rest of this area is just for crystal oscillators. So, if I go back here, I have 5 manufacturers making crystal oscillators. And yeah. That's basically all this floor is. And all the items in the storage room go down into this area right here. I even have extra storage up here. So it gets backed up in the storage room and back here too. Like double the storage. Floor 2. This is much more simple. I'm just making normal copper stuff like wire, copper sheets. And over here I'm making rotors. And some of these rotors go to the steel factory for motors. And the rest are just going into storage. So yeah, this is a pretty easy, simple floor. Now floor 3. This is actually where I started my world, up here. That's my stuff. I've kept these production lines since the beginning of the game. As you can see, they're still Mark II belts. This just makes all the basic stuff like rods, plates, screws, reinforced iron plates, modular frames, stuff like that. And this is all my copper in the world. There's one overclocked. I guess I could put a sloop in there. There's one overclocked constructor making all concrete I'm using. Yep, so that's basically my main area. Also, I didn't add a roof yet because I don't know how high I'm going. I plan to add at least one more floor, but I'm not really making items here anymore. I'm usually separating them in other factories. So yeah, let's go down here now. Put my jetpack on. Down here is where all the items are coming in from over there, from what I'm making over here. Right here is my space elevator. I'm on phase 4 right now. Yeah, I haven't started making any of the parts yet. I still need to automate the new tier 4, phase 4 stuff. So if I go into here, this is all my steel stuff. Like motors, which I do not have extra motors. Base industrial beams. I just filled a bunch of space with batteries for some reason. I didn't have any other space at the time. Steel stuff, and yeah, here's all the resources are coming in from. And here's my coal plant. I've also kept this since the beginning of the game. It sells Mark II belts. I won't show the power just yet, but there's 6 Mark 1 pipes. Not all the pipes are being used to 300, so yeah. Also, this space isn't very walkable, so I really need to fix that. Alright, this is where I first started using trains down here. My first time using trains to bring in 3 belts of iron and 1 belt of limestone. This limestone is 300 and these iron are 300 each, I think. And up here, which I do not have an entrance for some reason, for making my heavy modular frames. This is all just to make 5 heavy modular frames. And there's 1 manufacturer. All of it, just make 5 heavy modular frames. And I'm not using it for anything right now except for my depot. But I'm going to use it for fused modular frames soon to make... I'm going to split off some to make fused modular frames. Alright, now time to use hypertube cannons to get around. I'll just like aim that over there. I built this little cannon thing right here. It's pretty fun. It just like loops you around. And you can just press, oh, why did it launch me over there? Whatever. I'll just go the normal way. So over here is the huge belt highway before I started using trains. I'm sending quick wire down there somewhere, I'll show later. And bringing all that. Now up here is where I'm making rubber, plastic, and fuel in my jetpack. So instead of wasting the fuel, or not wasting the fuel, instead of wasting the heavy oil residue to sink it, I turn it into fuel, and then I sink the overflow. Actually, 5 coupons. So I'm just making rubber, plastic, fuel. And here I have 2 random overclocked fuel generators, just to use this unpure node. Impure node, I just wanted to use it up. And that's how much power I'm making, by the way, 30,000 megawatts. My max consumption is 15,000, consuming around 6,000. Alright, now there's another hypertube cannon right here. And right here is... I forget what this factory's for. Oh yeah, computers, high-speed connectors, AI limiters, and circuit boards. All being made over here. I'm not making much computers with 1.3 computers. So, it's a struggle. That's my dimensional depot. Alright, so that's everything I have built in the starter area. So now, if I go back up top, I can start to show things that are more expanded onto the world. Because this is just one tiny little section up here, and as you can see, I've grabbed a lot of nodes in areas like these. Why is my... Whatever. If you look over there, I'm getting quick wire from somewhere. I have so much quick wire. I think I have 400 or so left on this belt that I can just use freely. Yep, so here's where I'm just making a bit of quick wire. And some from my dimensional depot. One metal extractor. Yep, that's that. Now it's time into the big stuff. The interesting stuff. I'll get rid of that. If I go all the way over here, right over the edge of this cliff is a plastic and rubber factory. It's massive. So here's where the power's coming in. I have my, whatever those are called. So I'm making all my rubber and plastic. So I'm making 1,200 plastic a minute, 600 rubber per minute in this factory. It's a lot of refineries, I'll say that. I go up here. How I'm processing all the heavy oil residue is turning it all into petroleum coke. And sinking all the petroleum coke, which needs 6 Mark V belts, because each of these makes 120, and there's a lot of them here, so it's crazy. Then I've also started to try to get into trains. I don't understand trains that much. I've done one-way systems, just back and forth. I've never done like a 2-rail system. So basically wherever I need plastic or rubber in the world, I can just connect it to the main train line and get it. But I have the train line right here. I just have no idea how to use signals or make intersections or anything, so I'm kind of just stuck here. I eventually want to have a whole track go around this main center area, loop around. Then I can have tracks branch off of it, go to where I need. So like, say down here, I need like SAM ore down here or something, and a SAM right here. I can just belt the SAM onto the line. The train can go down here, down there. It'd be awesome, but I don't know how to do it. So yeah. So that's my plastic and rubber factory. Now there's 2 more main factories, which I will use my hypertube cannon for. And the way I use this cannon is I just keep the supports there. So if I need to go somewhere else, I can just reconnect it, which is super helpful. I don't think I got launched far enough. Oh no, I did, okay. Here's my small little aluminum plant, just to make things for my dimensional depot and nothing else. I'm gonna be making whatever it is, fluid tanks in there. And of course I got the casing and sheets all being made here. And in case you're wondering how to deal with byproducts, this has a byproduct of silica. So I belt the silica over into the smelters, which need silica. But I put a merger on there to get the rest of the silica, a priority merger. So the center input is the priority, so it never backs up. Then for the water byproduct, I simply just bring it back and then pump it into the top, because the top has priority over the side. So that means this will always drain first before this, which is the water extractor, so it never backs up. And I put a pump here so it doesn't backflow, and I can get up to the hump. And yeah, that's that. Here's another train station to get items I need, which is quartz and copper. I'm way down here. Quartz and copper from all the way down there. I was surprised at how well trains work. Oh, one more cannon. Down to the blue crater. This is probably the biggest factory I have. A turbo fuel power plant. Got 2 buildings, one for the generators, one for the plant. Here's all the turbo fuel I'm making. 240, 240, 240 per minute, 258. I'll show you what I'm doing. It's an extra 18. If I go down here, these are all the resources that are coming in. And here's all the power switches. So this is for the whole power plant. This is for the main battery storage, which I've yet to build. This is the emergency battery storage, which I've yet to build. Basically, with the emergency battery storage, I can just charge the batteries, then unplug it, then say the whole, my whole world shuts down, like, I don't know, just say my whole world shuts down and all the batteries are drained, and I have these emergency batteries I can turn on just to fuel this power plant. So I can turn off this, which is fine because I have coal over there, but if I turn off that and turn on that, basically it just lets me like back up. Over here is where I'm making all the compacted coal. And I have a 4-to-4 belt balancer over here, which I made myself. So basically, I'm just balancing these 2 to 2 more, and I'm balancing these 2 to 2 more. So I have 4 belts of compacted coal, which should be like 240 compacted coal per, around there. I don't know the exact number. Again, this area isn't walkable, so... Oh yeah. Okay. This is making all my heavy oil residue. A crap ton of generators. Why are some of them yellow? Oh, because it's not using all the oil. Okay. I'll explain why it's not using all of the oil. If I go up here, let me through. I go up here, everything is combined, like turbo fuel. I'm using the alternate recipe turbo heavy fuel. I didn't unlock blenders at this time, so yeah. Then outside here, all the fuel is white. All the fuel is stored inside these buffers, and then sent out into the next building. This massive building. Which all my fuel generators are on. About it not using all the oil. These are all overclocked to 200%. These top ones aren't overclocked because I'm just too lazy to get power shells. So I'm not making all the power I can right now, but it's whatever. With that extra 18 turbo fuel I'm making, turning it into package to go for my dimensional depot. Then I'm grabbing copper and iron to make the canisters, the ultimate canister speed. It works pretty well. Okay. This is a really big building. A lot of generators. And I didn't know what to do for a roof, so I just did this. And here's my alien power augmenter. Giving me an extra 2,703 megawatts. And yeah. That's basically it, if I recall. This little can just has everything I deleted. Yeah, that is basically everything. This door also leads nowhere. I don't know why I have it. I'll talk about my future plans now. So, I want to have 3 more factories. I want to have a radio control unit factory. This is all just for my dimensional depot. Everything in this whole world is just for my dimensional depot, except the plastic rubber plant. That's going to be used for things later. I'm going to also want a supercomputer factory, which shouldn't be too hard. I already have the plastic, so basically all I need is just like copper, quick wire, like easy stuff. Then the final thing I want a factory for is, 2 more things I want a factory for is cooling systems. Should also be super easy. And heat sinks, which I do not have. Why don't I have heat sink? Wait. How do you make a heat sink again? Oh, the assembly. Heat sink. Which should be easy, because I'm planning to make an aluminum factory for my whole world. So, once I get this aluminum factory set up, heat sinks and cooling systems are as easy as just hooking them into existing factories I have, and adding a bit of extra copper and nitrogen. Then supercomputers, I always need to add copper, deuterium. Oh, I need quartz for oscillators. Yeah, but all in all, it's super easy once I get my aluminum factory set up. With my aluminum factory, I plan on using Mark III miners to get that done. So once I get all those factories set up, I'm going to make a turbo motor factory. And that should be everything for phase 4. Then I can start with space elevator parts right after, so. Yep. So basically all I need to do is my aluminum factory, and that's basically it. Then it's smooth sailing from there. I just hook it up in my main train line, and I have aluminum anywhere I want in the world. It's super easy. And I'm planning to use all the bauxite, which is like 10,000 bauxite. Wait, but if I only have Mark V belts, then there's half that. I'll have like 5,000 bauxite. Whatever, I'm using a lot. I'll have a lot of aluminum. Alright, so anyways, thank you guys for watching, if you even watched all the way through, and see you later. Also, sorry for my voice.